drifted off into the night. This year, the rites would be remarkably altered. The elementals' time had come to share their powers with the next generation they would be creating tonight. They gathered together beside a long-abandoned, dilapidated cabin, high in the majestic Rocky Mountains of Alberta. A soft, gentle breeze caressed their naked bodies, adding to their already aroused states. With complete privacy, the four elementals... I can do this. I narrate for a living. He's laughing at me. Anyway. With complete privacy, the four elemental women and their mates stood in a circle, facing each other and holding hands, while the robed high priestess chanted the sacred rite. Candles burned around the perimeter of their ring, with scents of lemongrass and sage wafting subtly through the air. A sacred and humble clay bowl sat in the middle of the circle, containing a representation of their combined gifts: a maple leaf, a feather, a lit candle, and droplets of water. These gifts represented each elemental's individual powers: earth, air, fire, and water. This ceremony happened every 30 years in the evening of the summer solstice. The renewal of love vows between mates started the proceedings, followed by giving thanks to Mother Nature and the power she had bestowed upon the women from birth. The clear night surged with energy and lightning burst through the sky. Mother Nature seemed pleased. The time for the final chapter of the ritual had arrived. The four women lay with their backs to the earth while their men knelt between their thighs and dragged a fingertip into the muddy ground. Then one by one, the men traced the corresponding element onto their partner's stomach above their fertile womb. Okay, this excerpt is also from Daisy's book, Air's Passion. Connor walked for hours up and down the streets of the charming little town of Chemainus, located on Vancouver Island. Brightly colored murals adorned many of the buildings in town with various scenes such as 3 Native American men, a pod of killer whales, and a train running through a forest. He found himself caught up in the beauty and artwork of this community. Focus, Connor. Get your head out of the clouds and scan the town. Shaking his head, he berated himself for not staying on course with his mission. He had arrived in town early this morning with his brother Dylan. As always, the first thing they did before settling down had been to search the town for traces of evil. So far, he'd wandered through the business side of Chemainus, while his brother shifted into a Black Panther and scoured the forest areas. He hadn't heard from his brother yet, so he assumed Dylan hadn't come across anything out of the ordinary. Something suddenly caught his eye on the main street. Coming toward him walked a vision of absolute adorableness. Upon nearing her, he surmised she stood about 5 feet 4 inches tall, while he easily towered over her at 6 feet 2 inches. Her blonde hair had been piled up on her head haphazardly, and soft tendrils whisked around her delicate face. He noticed her crystal blue eyes hidden behind her dark, rectangular glasses, and she wore a pair of hipster denim jeans, a white V-neck t-shirt, and black ballerina flats. She stole his breath away. Unable to pull his gaze away, they passed each other on the sidewalk. A coy grin crossed her lips as she looked at him and said, "Good morning." "Hey," he replied. I see the most beautiful creature around, and all I say to her is, "Hey, idiot. God, shoot me now." He turned to run up to her, hoping to find out her name, anything, but she quickly disappeared into a shop. Pausing, he looked at the name of the store, Elemental Magic. What an interesting shop. Connor noticed a bench sitting about 2 storefronts down from where she entered, with a folded newspaper lying on the seat. Since he needed to be surveying the town, he thought watching this blonde should be part of his observations. Sitting down, he started to read the newspaper and waited for her to come out of the shop. After about 20 minutes, the door opened and she stood in the entrance calling back to someone inside. "So I'll see you 2 later at McLeod's pub tonight." She waved, and a moment later later, walked past him again, but this time he held the newspaper up, hoping she wouldn't see him. I'm going to have to find out where McLeod's is located. I do believe I'll be meeting her again tonight.